Hello, everyone. In this video, honestly, I would like to talk about this one interesting topic, and that topic would be the symbolism of the color yellow in most, like, how to say this, in most thriller mediums. And the only reason why I want to bring this up as a topic is because I see a pattern within most like pop culture references or just pop culture like mediums as a whole. Like there's Little Nightmares with the main character. You have also like the other movie Candyman coming up soon, and then then there's the infamous Stephen King It's like reiteration that just came up. That's always like iconic, whether it be the old Stephen King It or the new one that just came up recently. And then there's also the other thriller, which is honestly X Files with this one episode from episode 8, season 11. Now, the patterns of yellow that I see in every each thriller medium would be honestly, I'm going to go by the list. Candyman is honestly from a trailer where basically you see this one woman with a yellow coat or some piece of yellow on. And then there's also Little Nightmares, which is honestly one main character, Six wears like a yellow jacket or hoodie. It honestly, the main character, Georgie, he's wearing a yellow jacket as well. And then there's the X Files episode 8, season 11. Honestly, like this one kid's wearing a yellow hoodie as well too. Now, all these characters wearing yellow, again, there is a pattern to me. And honestly, if we all think about like thriller and horror based like mediums in the sense, we can all see by the end of the day, theoretically, all the time, like all horror or thriller movies are supposed to be either dark or either have some type of like creepy undertones in a sense, which they still do. If anything, Soma is honestly a good example of this. And honestly, Soma still is like when I get down to like the point of this video, it honestly brings more light, like pun intended, from that movie. It brings more light as to what my argument is when it comes to depicting the color yellow in most like mediums within the horror or thriller genre itself as a medium or pop culture medium as a whole. Honestly, I researched the symbolism of the color yellow, and what I got from it is, of course, yellow is symbolic to being loyal, to being a ray of sunshine, always being optimism, and bringing nothing but positivity. While on the other hand, there's also the other side of it where yellow can also be deceiving as well too in some situations, or can at times have some symbolism of having fear or certain people having fear within them. Now, looking into the symbolism of the color yellow after researching it, it would be just it's an interesting like combination within the genre of thrillers and horror movies when it comes to like the medium itself. And how is it interesting as a combination between the both is well, look at some of these like I guess thrillers itself. You have certain characters or certain lore where it's like honestly you feel that everything's going to be okay, but then no, it's not, fam. And honestly, that's what makes it interesting. And another thing, honestly, when it comes to the color yellow, would be just the fact that, well, it brings up the old, I guess, stereotype or the old, like saying when someone sadly passes away or something. Honestly, it's the old saying that goes, the most beautiful flowers gets picked faster than the ones that wilt faster or the ones that are the most ugly. And honestly, it's certain characters like Georgie or like honestly other characters like Six, possibly if you mess up on the game Little Nightmares, and then the kid from X Files. Out of all of them as like main characters that wear yellow, honestly, one way or the other, they all got screwed over or they all had to like basically face some adversity in order to basically get out of the situation. Now, honestly, when it comes to the deceit side, I would like to say there are certain characters where I feel like they can be deceitful, not like purposely, but in a way they do have some type of iconic like deceit type of attribute within them when it comes to the color yellow. Georgie, honestly, I wouldn't say Georgie as a character as a whole wouldn't be deceitful as a whole because one, he's just a kid. He was like 6 or 5 when he like passed, and it basically captured and did some horrific things with him in the movie It. And then when you have like Little Nightmares, honestly, Six is like a 2-page book. Six is either going to basically get like I said before, is going to get killed off if you don't play the Little Nightmare games correctly because there's like 2 or 3 games out there. And then also there's the other side to where when you get to the end of Little Night, and I feel like I can be entitled to say this because Little Nightmare's been out for like for a good minute, like I would say 2 or 3 years. So I feel like I'm entitled to say this. Six, honestly, in the end of the first Little Nightmares like game, she basically got stronger after fighting her main villain, which was the geisha woman, and she won. After she won, honestly, she dominated everybody. And I feel like Six is a good example of that, like, dynamic of, yeah, you're a beautiful flower in your own right because you don't look for chaos or don't look for causing havoc. But at the same time, if havoc keeps coming towards you and then you have to fight back, then you ain't gonna be afraid to fight back and just do what you gotta do in a way. Especially, with Six being arguably unstable because there's been a lot of theories about Six as a whole as a character. Various of types of theories. Because Six is kind of like a complex character. Now, when it comes to X Files honestly is a good example with that one character to where he get just got taken out and he was wearing yellow and he just honestly fit the mold of you was a beautiful flower, you was too young, and it was just sad. Kind of similar to Georgie. The only reason why Georgie had like a double edged sword type situation was because Pennywise used his body in a way as an illusion towards like his older brother to try and deceive him and scare the heck out of him and stuff before like doing possibly anything to the older brother. Which honestly, that's how Georgie fit the mold with Six, but not 100%. He's more like a neutral grounds because honestly, you just got taken out and it was just sad. Now, X Files, like I said before, just honestly a flower that just got plucked too young. Now, my reference to Soma honestly as a whole as a movie, I'm not even going to get too deep into that. All I'm going to say is the freaking like whole landscape of Soma itself as a medium of whether it be a thriller or horror is honestly a spectacle because every every nook and cranny when it comes to media itself, like focuses on the fact that in the Soma like medium or movie itself, it's always sunny. 24/7 it is sunny like all the time or majority of the movie whatever anything happens and stuff most of the movie is just sunny most of the time And that's what kind of like is creepy about the movie as a whole. And it's like, well, dang. And honestly, in a way, even though the people in the movie, whatever this group was in the movie, was welcoming, it's still the fact that they were kind of creepy as well too, because they were kind of shady when it comes to the whole like movie itself and aspect. But honestly, that's my whole video when it comes to my whole thing with the color yellow and what I see when it comes to the symbolism of the color yellow and what I got from it. It's just a duality. But please, if you like this, please subscribe. Thank you and bye.